Hey guys, I had a question for you real quick. Have you noticed how so many old Nintendo games have been getting remade recently? I'm not saying that Nintendo has never re-released old titles before, but it seems like they just went hog wild with remaking or re-releasing old content with the Nintendo Switch. And one of their franchises that has been especially prevalent in this area is the Mario series. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, Mario Party Superstars, Super Mario RPG, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, and even games that are coming in the future like Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door and Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. All of these are examples of Nintendo taking old Mario content and bringing them back on Nintendo Switch. And you know what? I am not complaining in the slightest. Yeah, we love it when Nintendo makes brand new Mario games, but it's important to preserve these old games in one way or another because they're all part of gaming history. So I decided to take a look back on some past Mario games to see what are the top 5 games I want to see make a comeback in some way. This list won't be in any particular order, these are just a few Mario games I hope will return someday. So without further ado, let's go! Let's start off with a game that not many people talk about, but still is a game that deserves some recognition, and that is Super Mario 3D Land for the Nintendo 3DS. When it comes to 3D Mario games, this game is very rarely brought up in the conversation, and that's because compared to other 3D Mario games, it doesn't really do that much to stand out. It's a very basic Mario adventure with nothing really noteworthy about it. But even with that said, this is still a good game. The levels are well designed and fun to blaze through. I like trying to collect all the star coins hidden throughout the stages, plus the way the game is structured makes it perfect for handheld play. Despite being a pretty standard Mario game, Super Mario 3D Land is still an experience I thoroughly enjoy whenever I pop it in. There's still a place for this game in the Mario universe, and I think it deserves to come back in the modern day. Imagine 3D Land but with the same graphics as 3D World. That would be awesome. Regardless, I really hope Super Mario 3D Land gets remade someday, as it deserves to stand alongside its fellow 3D Mario games. But Super Mario 3D Land isn't the only 3D Mario game I want to talk about today. Let's turn our attention to one of the most revolutionary Mario games of all time, Super Mario 64. Now, truth be told, I've never been the biggest fan of Super Mario 64. It's not that I don't like the game, far from it. I totally get why this game was such a big deal back then, and even today, there is still plenty of fun to be had with it. For me, it's purely based on the fact that I wasn't around when this game was big. I didn't play Super Mario 64 until 2020, and while I respect the game for what it is and what it represented, I was already spoiled by much better 3D Mario games at that point, like Galaxy and Odyssey, both of which have much more refined controls and level design. That's why I think getting a full-blown remake of Super Mario 64 would be awesome, and help me truly appreciate this game. Now, funny enough, Super Mario 64 actually did get a full-blown remake back in 2004 for the DS, Super Mario 64 DS. I also didn't play this game until years after it released, but it added a ton to the original game on top of remaking the whole thing. It added new levels, new characters, and had a bunch of mini-games to play as well. The only real downside of this remake was the controls. Since it was on the DS, you had to use the D-pad. It worked, but it wasn't ideal. That's why I think getting a full HD remake of the original with all the additions the DS brought would be fantastic. Again, imagine Super Mario 64 but with the graphics of 3D World or even Odyssey. That would be so damn cool. Like I said, I'm not head over heels in love with this game, but it definitely deserves a modern remake because it's really something special. Alright, let's take a break from Mario for a moment and talk about his far superior brother, Luigi. If you've been following my channel for any period of time, you know how much I love Luigi. He's my favorite video game character of all time, and because of that, one of my favorite video game series of all time is Luigi's Mansion. It's all about Luigi going around and sucking up ghosts. It's a simple concept, but makes for some really fun games, and it all started with the original Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube. Just like Super Mario 64, this game also got a previous remake. In 2018, Luigi's Mansion got remade for the 3DS. All it really added was a multiplayer mode, but it was still a fun game, and a fully faithful remake of the original GameCube title. But I'm still waiting for the real Luigi's Mansion remake, the one with full HD graphics and refined controls. We've already seen this with Luigi's Mansion 3 for the Switch, and we're going to see it again when Luigi's Mansion 2 HD comes out in June. The original Luigi's Mansion is the only one that has yet to get the full HD treatment, so I think it's high time we finally got it. And they could add in the new features from the 3DS remake, like the strobe bulb and Luigi for some multiplayer ghost hunting. And again, with the other two games looking so great, the original needs a remake now more than ever. I still remember the day when Paper Mario The Thousand-Year Door was revealed for the Nintendo Switch. It seemed like the entire Nintendo community collectively lost their shit. To see that such a beloved Mario game that not many people got to experience was making a return was such a magical moment to be a part of. And it wasn't just a straight port either. They went in and redid everything. This truly looks like a game from the modern day. So to help me prepare for this remaster, I started playing the original version from the GameCube, and I also tried out the first Paper Mario game for the N64, and that got me thinking, doesn't the original Paper Mario deserve some love as well? Like, yeah, The Thousand-Year Door is amazing, and I would definitely prefer to see that game get remade over the N64 game, but the first Paper Mario game still holds up pretty well today. It tells a pretty interesting story. I love all the fun and diverse characters you meet along your adventure, and this game introduced all sorts of really cool RPG mechanics like badges you can equip and partners with unique abilities. This game laid the foundation for Thousand-Year Door to build upon, and it's still a very enjoyable game to play today. I may not be a die-hard Paper Mario fan like many others, but it's still an excellent series of games, and I think the original Paper Mario is just as deserving of a remake as its sequel. And now, it's time to talk about the final game on this list, or should I say, games. Sometimes when video games get remastered or re-released, they'll be included in some sort of collection or something like that. In Mario's case, we had the Donkey Kong Classics on NES, Super Mario All-Stars on SNES, and Super Mario 3D All-Stars on Switch. You see, that's all fine and good, but I want a collection of some more peculiar Mario games. It's a series that's very dear to me, and includes some of the best Mario games of all time. I'm talking about the Mario and Luigi series. Out of all the Mario RPG games that exist out there, the Mario and Luigi series has always been my favorite. It's the Mario brothers teaming up, visiting all sorts of fun and unique places, and taking on some of the craziest opponents you can find in the entire Mario franchise. The Mario and Luigi series consists of 5 games and 2 remakes, but the series stopped after the developer Alpha Dream went bankrupt, so the future of the series is still uncertain. But honestly, I still think there's a future for this franchise. The groundwork is laid for Nintendo. If they just find the right studio to take over, I think modern day remakes of these games would be awesome. Seeing all these unique locations and characters spruced up with new graphics would be a dream come true. The only possible problem I could see Nintendo running into is that some of these games had touchscreen controls, so they would have to be worked around somehow, but honestly, I think they could totally make it work. But yeah, the idea of a Mario and Luigi HD collection would be a dream come true, and finally give this series a breath of life that it desperately needs. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then make sure to give it a like, and let me know down in the comments what other Mario games you'd like to see return someday. Also, make sure to subscribe so you can see more videos like this in the future. Have a great day, stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next one.